Good morning. I take up Ulysses by Alfred Lord Tennyson today. Before beginning the poem, I'd like to tell you something about Victorianism and Victorian poetry, as Tennyson is the best representative of Victorian poetry. Victorianism is a term which may mean to us several things and several different things at the same time. On one hand, it is represented by libraries stacked with leather bound books and families gathered to listen to the readings from the Bible or some lesser known work. And on the other hand, there is this working class coming up who are writing in the streets, and there are children working in factories in very inhuman conditions. There is an image of ladies dressed in long sleeved full gowns also, which symbolize some kind of a prudish morality, falsity, or a moral code imposed upon women, which is also reflected in many works of literature. It was an age of doubt, of uncertainty, of questioning of old values and search for new ones. There were major thinkers and major philosophers like Marx, Darwin, Freud, who came up with their intellectual activity. They told you a lot about changes, so the same will reflect in literature, in prose literature particularly. As far as poetry is considered, we have two poets, Tennyson and Browning, who are noteworthy poets of this age. They represented two facets of Victorian life. Tennyson, who was named the poet laureate of Victorian age, concerned himself with recreating the British past. His work, Mort d'Arthur, is a cycle of poems which reflects the British past. Browning spent a major part of his life on the continent, and he was fond of reconstructing the Italian Renaissance. It became very popular, and his dramatic monologue is much talked of. We'll take it up in detail when we take up Browning. Tennyson's poetry has richness of music, of rhythm, of sound. Major lyrical elements can be found in Tennyson's poetry. Two poems usually prescribed for you are the Lotus Eaters and Ulysses. The Lotus Eaters transforms the philosophy of despair into one of quietude, which acquires a godlike status to be able to afford this indifference to the claims of life. It says there is so much of despair that there is call for rest. There is a philosophical note that what is the use of indulging in work in life when one has to meet an end. On the other hand, Ulysses replaces this mood of despair. It urges us to be up, to be about, to travel, to explore, and to be constantly on the move. You have two very interesting poems, but the one prescribed for you is Ulysses, which I will take up now.